Okay, so in my haste to review this toy, like 3 hours after I got it, I may have neglected a few things, and there's a couple things I want to clarify. Because I care about you. So once again, this is Yamato's VF-17S Diamond Forest color. I don't know why they didn't call it, Goblin Kazaki Custom, Stealth Valkyrie, or Nightmare, but whatever, that's how they just call the toys. So yeah, I did actually put the stickers on, because I was like, oh, I need to have the stickers on. And I probably should have trimmed them a bit. I'm just a little reluctant to use an X-Acto knife after a rather interesting encounter with one trying to make a vinyl kit. Remember kids, you don't have to make the parts of the vinyl kit that soft before cutting them. And I put this one looks alright, doesn't really look too weird with the extra halo of sticker stuff on them. Okay, and one thing, I know a lot of people don't quite get this, but there's actually supposed to be a little bit of a raised section here between the shoulder pad and the chest plate here. That's actually just part of the design. So it doesn't look like things are lining up. That's just how it's designed. That's how it's supposed to look. Okay. So I'm just going to show you real quick how fast you can transform this thing, because it's actually not terribly difficult. Especially if you just go down here and and remember to put the tow bar in. Well, it's really fast to transform this thing, if you don't totally fuck it up. Yeah, because all you have to do is just... Of course, if you actually just start moving these things, I'm sure all those parts will just pop out anyway, so, yeah. And you can just go like this. Watch. Pop. And pull. Out. And pop. And pull it out. And pull the arms out. We're just going to go straight to battroid mode. Put in this little thing. Pop this whole section out. And yeah, the only problem here is that, again, this thing is tight out of the box, so that part's going to be hella tight too. Okay, pop that up. Now with this, the way you're going to want to do this, I actually learned a trick to it. You want to pull these forward, and they will, make sure you don't get this caught right there. Alright, so you pull that forward, and you pop up the nose cone, and then just go like that. Now that they're like that, all you do is you just push these in, and you can just easily rotate both legs into their position for battroid mode. They might actually come out a little bit, so just position them and force them back into place. There we go. So yeah, we're pretty far along here. And, just come back here and fold that thing down. Pop this thing out, put this thing in, and fold this whole thing back. Pop those in. I didn't do this in the first video, but when you get the chest plate, you can actually, after you move the head around like this, you can actually get it pretty much flush against the shoulders here. And also, this die-cast bar that the whole back swings up on is actually mounted on a couple of screws, and it can actually push downward very tight on these, or when you get it out of the box. These are mounted on just screws, so you can just try to loosen them yourself if you feel so inclined. So yeah, we are basically done. You will note that I did not do the hellaciously annoying thing back here, because it's like, okay, so I can just do this all goddamn day, but I don't care because this thing's pretty tight and it'll pretty much stay like that anyway. So we'll just do this, and always remember to adjust both of these back, because they go like this for fighter mode, and then like that for battroid mode. Battroid and Gerwalk. And the feet are pretty easy because you just bring down the back. And here we go. Let's kind of bring him back a little bit. And again, with the hands, you just retract them in a little bit, grab the front finger, and here you go. So yeah, everyone complains about these new Valkyries are way too complex, so there you go. Probably not as fast as the old Bandai toy, but still pretty good. And I do want to show you guys though the whole, I should have just read the manual because it answers all these questions. But here's the deal with the little panel inside the leg right here. You can kind of see that. So you just kind of push it in a little bit. And here's the thing that's actually difficult about this toy is just getting the landing gear out because they didn't quite put, yeah, actually that came out pretty well. Okay, so let's try to get that close enough. There's actually, you can see there's a little kind of a tab, and you just get your finger in there and hope that your hands are actually more like a Japanese person's. And you can see you put the tab basically down like that. You can see it's all the way down. And that opens up the slot where you mount the super packs for the legs. So that's going to be where they're going to attach so they can hinge in and out. Very cool. And then when you don't want that in there, or you want to just cover up the hole, just again, get your finger in there and just pull it back, and there it goes. Pretty smooth. So that's really cool that they did that. Okay, so I do want to show you guys how to transform this back because there's a couple of things that you should be aware of in doing so. So we're just going to go straight on pretty quickly. As quickly as I can do this in front of the camera because I'm either trying to watch my hands do it, or watching the watching the camera. And oh, right, that's right, the hand goes that way. Oh well. If I didn't mess up, it wouldn't be interesting to watch, would it? And yeah, this guy is kind of tall, so I apologize if I'm not keeping everything in shot. So you can just pull this whole thing out again, pop that up, and just start to position the arms correctly. You know, get the head back into place because it is on that double joint. See, like right there, through the double swivel. And does this come out? Yeah, this comes out more. It's just very tight. Again, very tight. They really, I almost think maybe they were a little excessive about the tightness, but I guess it's better that your toy starts off being tight than being incredibly loose out of the package. Now here's something that's kind of difficult. So you've got a black tab on a black arm, a little black slot. It's like, try finding that when you have poor lighting conditions. Because you just kind of, oh. Yeah, actually one thing I do need to point out is that you do definitely need to push the, hey, look at all that die cast in there. So you got to push these. You can see there's the screws on the other side. This part of the shoulder hinge, you can just kind of get your finger in there and push it back. Again, it's a very simple little mechanism there, and it's really tight on a fresh toy, despite how many times I've transformed this, which is probably getting close to 50 at this point. Alright, so that is all set. And to do the legs back, now here's where some of the difficulties arise, is getting this chest plate to cooperate with this part of the leg area here, or the intake section, if you will. It is both. Okay, so the first thing to do, we're just going to do the reverse of what we just did. We can angle these out, just get them out of the way. So we're going to bring that up, both of them, all the way back like this to create a horrifying thing. And then we're just going to pop these out and rotate the whole thing back up and just collapse this inwards and try not to get poked by something. And then you just get your big hand out of the way and bring down the nose cone, bring down the cockpit section, and you can see there's actually a hole and a peg, and it goes right in there. Now, okay, so here is the difficult part. Because what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take this, the whole leg, and you're going to rotate it like this. Not quite all the way. I've tried to do this a couple of times just to see if this is in fact the easiest way to get this whole thing to cooperate. Also remember that if this is getting stuck on this section here, these do, you know, they're on that hinge and they can rotate outward a little bit to give this space to get back in. So I found what you really need to do is you can either sort of angle this down as far as it'll go, like right there, which makes it much easier to see to get this section here past this part of the chest plate. Because a couple times it actually did kind of rub against it a little bit. You can see that just kind of, that goes in pretty easily. So, and once you get into that position, it's very easy to just push the whole chest plate back in. First you're probably going to do is pull this thing out here, the little neck cover that goes in between the head, the back of the head and the neck. And yeah, so when you position all this, and then you're just going to keep it on camera and push it, or yeah, hope it stays in position when you push it back down. And what's it getting caught on? It's like, geez, I just showed you guys, like, well, this is how you do it if you don't want to get caught, and oh look, it just kind of, there it goes. Yeah, so yeah, that was mostly painless. And yeah, you do want to try to position all this stuff. And if this is kind of tight here, it is probably because you didn't quite pull out those joints enough. But yeah, so you can see this toy is certainly taking a little bit of abuse from me right now. It's a lot of tough love. And just pop this thing back in. Because what I just showed you was probably the hardest part, is just getting that chest plate to cooperate. Because for the most part, everything else is pretty easy, because you just position this shoulder section here like this, and then you just kind of wiggle it back into place, and then bring this triangular bit down. There's a little panel here that's kind of cool. It keeps everything nice and seamless, and you just kind of line these up a little bit manually, and you can just do this. And once again, you know, there's supposed to be a little bit of a rise from this part to this part. Part of the line art. I know, it's kind of weird, but that's totally been there since 1994. So no use complaining now. And we'll get the feet in position. Only problem with this is that you kind of have to keep, these aren't supposed to be all the way out. They're supposed to be kind of like halfway, sort of like here-ish. The best way to do this, to figure this out, is to bring down the little door right there on both legs. And just remember, also push down this part of the shoulder section. Bring out the wings, and when you push this in, push it in like that, and rotate it into position. And you see, like, there's already a little bit of gap there. So you're just gonna also try to make sure that this part of the thigh is, like, this part of the knee, I should say, is out, because you saw it does raise up a little bit, or raise inward, or outward. I don't know. This is an airplane that transforms into a robot. Things become other things very quickly. And reorient, or orientate, whatever. Reorient, that's racist. No, okay, so when you get this, okay, so you can see a little bit of a gap, so you just take these two things, and you pop them in, and there you go, no more gap. So again, yeah, just kind of clean things up, pop things in, and here you go. Diamond Force Valkyrie transformed forward and backwards in the span of about 15 minutes. Oh, right, and fiddle with these things, because these are where they keep everything aligned under here. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty neat, and they will constantly pop out because they're kind of annoying like that. So yeah, beautiful VF-17S Diamond Force Valkyrie. I mean, just look at that. Just look at that. That is beautiful. Yeah. Okay, so this has been a little supplementary review, or supplementary video, I should say, not a review, because, you know, there's only so much I can gush about this thing, or is there, for Yamato's VF-17S Diamond Force Color. So, catch you on another Macross review, which is probably coming really soon.